Make that bigger.
Hi, everybody. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday Eve. I'm Sybil Wilkes here, and it's Thursday, so that means it's George Wallace Day. And of course, if it's Thursday with George Wallace, we're going to have some sort of technical issue.
Some sort of technical issue. I did not pay my bill this week, so maybe that's what it is. Do you hear me okay now? Can you see me? I can't see me. I can't hear me. I can't see you. I don't see anything.
Really? Okay. Well, let's just go. Let's just roll with
Let's
it.
go with the flow.
That's right. That's right. George, as you know, this broadcast is brought to you by Black Voters Matter. For more information and to join the crowd, please go to blackvotersmatterfund.org for more information. And I hope that you all were able to hear our conversations this week with the co-founders of Black Voters Matter,
Yeah.
Latasha Brown, and then yesterday, Cliff Albright. Did you watch?
I watched Mr. Albright yesterday, and it was so exciting to hear you two guys talking about your tour. You're on the bus, and you hopped on the bus, Gus. Hop on the bus, Gus.
Yes,
And
that's
that was
right.
wonderful to see you guys working. I'm really proud of you getting out and going down in Atlanta, my city here, and doing your part, Sybil. That's really, really nice.
Well, you know what, George? It reminded me a lot of the old Joiner days and going out and being a part of a project like that. And so it felt good. It felt really good to be with people. I got over my trepidations about flying. I took your advice. I took Chica's advice and went Delta, and they were magnificent. I really enjoyed that flight. And then the hotel was great and everything, and then I got on. I took my quick rapid test, the COVID rapid
Yeah,
test, and hopped on the bus. Gus, don't need to discuss much. Yes, just got on there,
and leave it to
and
me.
that's right, that's right. And
Well,
the first stop was Macon, and it was great.
you went to Macon, Georgia. What a beautiful city that is there. And I'm glad
Yeah.
you went outside of Atlanta because Atlanta is pretty much, it's not, we don't have it in grips, but we pretty much know what the Blue County is going to present and give us. So you went to Macon. That's cool. That's Bibb County.
Yeah, yeah, and we were at a lovely museum, at African American Museum, the Harriet Tubman Museum,
Really?
and yeah, and it was beautiful. And then we moved on down the road, so it was great. And I didn't get to see her, but I got to talk to James Brown daughter Deanna Brown, and that was in Augusta on Tuesday,
You went to Richmond County. You went to Augusta.
Monday, yes,
Monday. Let me ask you a
yeah,
question now. Supposedly, don't laugh at this. This is not funny, okay?
okay.
Suppose James Brown is not supposed to be in his final resting place. Is he in a temporary? He's still in a temporary location.
I don't know, George, and maybe if somebody is listening, then they can tell us, because I remember, went for a very long time that
Yeah,
that that Mr. Brown was not in the crypt where he was scheduled to rest.
he was in
I
his
think
daughter's front yard or something like that.
I
And I
think that
called
he
the funeral home. I called the funeral home and I said, "What's going on with Mr. Brown?" And the funeral director told me specifically. He said, "Mr. Wallace, James Brown is in a 22-karat gold coffin. Until the family comes up with that money, James Brown ain't going nowhere." That's what he told me.
Oh my, okay, you're so silly.
Good God, I feel
and
good.
and
Did,
you should,
did
because
they have the
everybody asked.
music on? Did they have James Brown music on?
They have the James Brown music on, and that is really the foundation of the music that Black Voters Matter uses when we go on these votercades. As we had talked about, we get to a city, and then car clubs or motorcycle clubs come and join us, and other people in their cars, and then the blackest buses in America, the Black Voters Matter buses, and the smaller vans. We all get in line and drive through the neighborhoods, and we did that on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and now they're continuing the tour. I hopped off the bus to get back, but I'm hoping to go back with them before this is all over,
Well,
like
that
right
must have been
before.
great. I know I'm doing something crazy here because my phone went out.
Right.
And Sybil, excuse me, but you can still see me.
No, I can't see you. I can hear you.
Okay, we'll talk.
Okay. Let's talk, George. George, have you voted? And now I don't have anything from him. I'm not hearing anything. Okay, we'll get him back. We'll give George Wallace back. He's not had an easy week. I texted him today. I said, "You've been mighty quiet," because normally he and Myra, Jay, and I, or even Jay, Anthony Brown is included in the text chain, and I hadn't heard from him this week, and he's had some challenges, and I hope that tonight will lift his spirits as he says it normally does. So we will talk to him. So here's the deal. I had to have this rapid COVID test, and then I have to go for another one tomorrow. And as I'm coming back and quarantining and everything, how many people have? I mean, I know people like our Coy. She has like a rapid test quite often, and I'm just wondering how many people are going through that, because you're still seeing the lines of people in their cars as they're going through and having this done. But now, as of tonight, a second vaccine has passed the panel, the FDA panel. They recommended unanimously to go with the Moderna version of the vaccine. And so I guess maybe tonight, maybe even tomorrow, the FDA will give their final recommendation, but that's pretty good. Unanimous 20 or 22 to nothing, something like that. And so then that is the second one, and there'll be a third and a fourth and what have you. And hopefully it'll start ramping up so much that maybe it won't be till next summer or next fall before spring or summer before people get their own vaccine. And it's going to be good. I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful simply because things are changing in Washington, D.C. And that is awesome. And we're also getting more announcements of more cabinet members for the administration, including a Black man to head the EPA. He's coming from North Carolina, a Native American woman handling the Department of Interior. That's our parks, and that's awesome. And then, of course, Mayor Pete Buttigieg is going to be the Secretary of Transportation, pending his confirmation by the United States Senate. And as a matter of fact, he said he's always been a transportation man, and it's always had some great times as a result of transportation, because not only is he going to be the first openly LGBTQ man or person, but that is where he proposed to his husband, was at O'Hare Airport. So
that's what he said.
That's what he said, Chasten. So good for them, and good for the country. I see. But you know what, George? I'm really curious as to how few people from the campaign who ran against Joe Biden are included in the administration as of yet. I thought that there would be more people like Andrew Yang, and I thought Buttigieg would also be, and Julian Castro. I really thought that he would be included as well. But it's not over. Party's not over yet, so we'll see what happens.
Was Julian Castro already Secretary of HHS with?
Yes, during the Obama
Clinton administration. Obama administration.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Buttigieg, because my first degree was in transportation. And,
is that right?
Yes, my first degree was in transportation, and I think it's great. He got married at O'Hare. Who the hell will get married at O'Hare?
No, they got engaged. He asked his.
The same thing. You got to run to catch the plane. Come on, you going with me? Come on, let's go. Hop on the plane, Jane.
Don't need to discuss much. And of course, we are still referencing an old 70s song, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
And I forgot who did it.
Folks, it was Paul McCartney.
No, it wasn't.
Wings.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
And Garfield. What's his name? The two guys. Hop on the bus, Gus. Simon and Garfunkel.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Was it? Was it Simon and Garfunkel? I thought it was Yeah, well, they'll tell us. George and I got into a great discussion via text the other night, and it was referencing the mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Whew.
And there was a report that she had been offered an ambassadorship. Now, George, just to clarify, now they say she wasn't offered an ambassadorship. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that one yet, because it made the news everywhere that she had been offered the ambassadorship of the Bahamas. Right. And of course, I had to use the F word, and I don't normally use the F word. Who the F want to go to the Bahamas? Hell, she's trying to get to Buckhead. She's living in Buckhead. What the hell she want to go to the Bahamas for? Anybody can go to the Bahamas. You want to be an ambassador there? Got to get prepared for all those storms and stuff coming through there and cleaning up. No, she did the right thing. We need her here in Atlanta. And I don't know what else she can do, Sybil, because we're going to have Stacey as governor.
Right.
Where can we put Miss
Well, I think she's going to run for re-election if nothing else, and then it'll kind of steady her for the next administration, for the next if it's the Harris administration or if it's the second administration of the Biden team. We'll see, but we've not seen the last of her. And
did you think also the ladies? What do you think about? Isn't it wonderful? I think ladies do a better job, Sybil. I just got to say that. There's a lot of ladies in this administration like you've never seen before coming up. How many? I think there's like 6 or 7 already, right?
Yeah. Women women for the first time in a lot of these positions, and Black women especially. I absolutely adore her, Marcia Fudge, who is the congresswoman from Ohio.
Yes.
And she is going to be the HUD secretary. Many thought she might be agriculture, but she is going to be HUD. George, you were right. It was Paul Simon, and that is.
I can't hear you.
You were right, George Wallace.
I thought you said Simon and Garfunkel. Did you? Is that what you said?
You said Simon and Garfunkel, and you were correct.
Okay, that's what I thought. I think my phone. I can't hear him. It's going in and out again. Simon and Garfunkel.
You were right.
Just like a bridge over troubled waters.
That was even earlier than 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
Our listeners know who we're talking about. Trust me.
Yeah, that's true. So, George, what do you think is left? What do you think about anybody that you still like to see? Because I don't think Lance Bottoms is out of the running for anything right now. And I especially think because they may have had a discussion, she and President-elect Biden, when he was down in Atlanta day before yesterday.
Well, I don't want her to take anything. She got to stay in Atlanta.
Okay.
I want her to stay right here in Atlanta. Maybe Mr. Clyburn can. Maybe we can get him to do. Well, that's a Republican state, right?
Yeah.
So he can't leave.
But that's also a position that they will have an election for it, and but I don't see him leaving the third highest ranking position in the United States Congress.
Plus, he can't leave because he's in South Carolina. You got a Republican governor in South Carolina, right?
Well, yeah, but also he's, like I said, he's the third highest ranking in the United States Congress, and I don't see him leaving.
So he needs to stay. Okay, who can we find? Who else can we find to take some of these positions?
You know who you mentioned the other day when we were talking was Jamie Harrison.
He'd be good at anything.
Yeah, right.
Because he's a gentleman. And he's a.
And I lost George. Am I the only one not hearing George? Okay.
Again, I don't know what's happening here, sir, but I apologize.
No, that's okay. You were in and out. You're back.
Okay.
So one of the positions I heard Jamie Harrison mention, and this is really inside baseball stuff, but and we will move on, I promise. But as the head of the Democratic National Committee.
That would be cool. Yeah. That's the same position Donna had, right?
Who had?
Donna, what's the lady name? Black lady. From
Donna Brazile was a chair. Yeah.
Yes, that'd be good. Yeah. He could do that job very easily. That'd be very nice for him to do.
And the first person to have that job was Ron Brown, right?
I'm not sure.
I think Ron Brown was, and then he was made. I think that he went in as Secretary of Commerce during the Clinton
administration. Exactly. That's when he was in the plane crash, Secretary of Commerce. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm remembering. My mind is coming back to me. I'm a little slow, but it's coming back to me.
Speaking of your mind, how's Bull Tweets doing?
Bull Tweet. You got me. Bull Tweet. Sybil is already in its second printing. We had to go back and order again, and we haven't been. Bull Tweet. GeorgeWallace.com, GeorgeWallace.net, anything BullTwit.com. You can get this book. It is selling out, and we're so proud for the holiday season. People are buying 5, 10 at a time. So we put in an order for another 10,000.
Nice, George. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And also, guess what? I want you to do with the bird. We call him the bird Wally Bird.
Wally Bird?
Wally Bird. Now, I talk a lot, and I say I'm going to do a lot of things. I want to make this an animation.
Oh, awesome. You should.
Wally Bird, and then I can come talk to you. I don't know what kind of bird you want to be, especially this time of year. You know what? If I had a lover to bring me 2 turtle doves and 3 French hens, I don't need all them damn birds coming to my house. At least get me a air fryer to cook them in. All those birds, 2 French hens.
But George, wait till you get to the 5 golden rings.
That's the only reason you sing that song, isn't it?
Because I love the 5 golden rings.
What happened on the 12th day? What happened on the 12th day? What is the first day? 12?
First day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
Lords are leaping.
11 lords are leaping, something like that. Yeah.
So nobody knows number 12.
I just know, yeah, it's 11 lords are leaping, 12 lords.
Where's maids are milking? What maids are milking? What are they milking? What the hell are they milking? And and speaking of milk, how do they come up with
George,
this?
why don't you do that for the season? You come up with your own 12 days of Christmas.
I think I'll do that. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me tickets to Dubai.
Oh, yes! For all your friends.
I would love to do that. I would love to do it. But we've been to Dubai before. We got to find some other place.
Okay, but I haven't been to Dubai with you because you travel unlike anybody else. Like, I did Hawaii with you, right?
Yes.
We did South Africa together. But I'm thinking some places I'd like to revisit with you.
One good thing, let's tell our viewers out there that you've got to travel in your life. I know we had the pandemic. So this year, I haven't been anywhere. Mm-hmm. No, I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii a few times and maybe somewhere else, but you've got to travel. Put travel in your life. When the pandemic is over, make sure you get on an airplane, go see the other part of the world. And they teach us that America is number one. Other countries are living very well.
Yeah.
As I mentioned to you about Dubai, seeing the world's tallest building, 160 stories tall. And I used to do the joke, if you jump off, you have 3 days to change your mind, So you got 3 days to change your mind. But it's a lot of fun to travel, and I don't know how we got back on this, but I was talking about 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah, so, but I was saying make it into your own. Make the 12 days of Christmas into, like you said, 2 tickets to Dubai. But whatever it is in your life, 12 copies of Bull Tweet.
Everybody should get 12 copies of Bull Twit. Always remember Bull Twit. You can always remember Bull Twit because you can't say Bull.
Yeah.
It.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
GeorgeWallace.net. Get a copy. All kinds of crazy stuff is in here. It's a lot of fun.
So George, when they do the animation, are you going to do it, or is your friend Patton Oswalt, who did the forward, is he going to be a character?
Oh no, he may be in there, but I'm going to be the bird, Wally Bird, and we'll be talking about politics and things I don't like. If I were and talking to you, it could be the same show, but just the bird.
And you'll give us the bird.
Yep.
So what? Okay. Yolanda says she wants to produce it.
Who?
Yolanda Stark's wife.
Who the hell is Yolanda? I haven't heard of her all week. All of a sudden now she wants to produce the book. Tell her, Yolanda, I do have a project that we're going to go over again that she did produce in Atlanta, Georgia once. We did Living in the Spirit.
I remember that laughing.
Laughing in the Spirit. We want to bring that back, especially at this time. We're going to change some things around. I was talking to Bill Duke the other day, and we want to bring that back. And it's gospel and laughing and enjoying life. Laughing in the Spirit. Awesome. And it's so good to laugh. It's important to laugh. And that's all I'm blessed to be on earth to do, is just make people laugh. People make me laugh. Right. Laughter is the greatest medicine in the world. I have a job where I go to work every night, just laugh. I'm doing nothing right now. I ain't getting paid, but I'm laughing.
and hence the name, I Ain't Got No Money Wallace, because
I ain't got no money Wallace, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
I love life, and I just love traveling, and I love going to these different cities. What is your favorite city you went to on the Sky Show?
Oh, wow. You know what? I loved going to the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, North Carolina, because I used to work there. That was one of my early radio jobs.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
thought you
in
never worked
Charlotte.
anywhere but Chicago, but you worked over.
No. My first radio job was in Fort Myers, Florida, and that's where people used to go, and I'm sure they still do, to finalize their wills. It was in Southwest Florida, below Tampa.
I did not know that. They go to Fort Myers to finalize their wills, and that's what they. Okay.
That was my first radio job at Wink Radio, and then I went across the river to Port Charlotte, and then from Port Charlotte I went to Ocala, Florida for about 3 weeks, and then I got an offer to go to Charlotte, and I left, and I went to Charlotte, and I did 2 jobs for the price of one.
Really? Well, let me ask you a question. When you were there then, 15 years ago, were the people as crazy as they are now in Florida? Because Florida is the stupidest state in America.
George, I'm telling you, that is the strangest state, and it always was, and it always will be.
And Georgia is catching up slowly but surely.
Right.
But Florida,
Florida definitely leads the way. Definitely leads the way.
Even the happiest place on earth is stupid in Florida. Have you been to the happiest place? Supposed to be the happiest place. Now it's $120 a head to go through the gate. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So if you go with 4, that's like $1,000.
Yeah, and that's just to get through the gate.
Just to get through the gate. If you want to eat, hey.
And a place to stay and all of that. That's gonna cost you. Yeah.
But that's Florida.
But that's okay. I've had some great times there as well. Hello, boys and girls, as J. Anthony Brown would say.
Little freaky ass mouse.
But you know what? I was thinking, who was I talking to the other day? Oh, it was talking to the folks on the bus for Black Voters Matter, and I wish that I had been more present with all of those cities that we went to. At one point, I think with Myra, we were saying that for a few years there, we were doing 30-something Sky shows a year.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was so awesome. And every city, every person, and seeing a lot of them were coming to visit us when we were on the road this past weekend. God, Tom Joyner Morning Show fans are just so wonderful, and all of our affiliates and everything. It was great. It really was.
Can you believe there had 3,000 people in the morning up in those theaters and packed and just having fun? And I think some of the people got there.
George, getting in line the night before.
Yeah, right. They were there all night to get in. That was wonderful. And we came out. I guess we came out on stage 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning.
It was 6 usually.
It was the people were up and dancing. The artists were just great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Just you name it. And we were a part of those groups, and Tom really led the way in a lot of respects in getting those old school groups back out there and doing their thing.
Oh my God. I remember we did a show in Philadelphia. That's the first time I met the gospel great Yolanda Adams. Mm-hmm. And she was so good. And then we did a show in Atlantic City. We had Rolls Royce?
Yeah. Yeah, remember that.
Oh my God, some of these great shows that I really, really enjoyed.
And I remember on my birthday, Brian McKnight sang me happy birthday, and then it's an embarrassment.
I think maybe you're going to do that again. You're going to take your show on the road, Sybil.
I would love that.
Wait a second, that's not funny. That's good. You could have a town hall meeting. You could do that.
Yeah, and you will come.
I will be there. Is Yogi listening now?
Yes.
Have her produce that.
after she produces your movie.
Okay, listen to me. This would be wonderful. I would love to do this, a road show.
Okay.
Sybil Wilkes live from Charlotte. Sybil Wilkes, you're going to have a nice crowd in Atlanta. Doesn't have to be a big place.
Oh no, because remember, George, back in the day when we were like in those little small restaurants and venues, and it was
tight.
It was tight.
It was tight. Yeah. Even Washington, D.C. was tight, but it was at the train station, though. And that's amazing. And so people were coming in off the train. That was really, really beautiful.
And they just crisscrosses as they were coming off the train or getting on the train, and they would stop and have a little fun with us and keep moving. Yeah.
How about Jacksonville, Florida? We did New Year's Eve in Jacksonville, Florida one time. You remember that night? Were you in my suite? And all of a sudden, everybody said, "Where is J. Anthony Brown?"
Right. Yeah.
And we looked around. Nobody could find Jay. Somebody had given me a gift for pajamas for Christmas.
Right.
He had taken the pajamas out of the bag, put them on. We couldn't find him. He was in my bed, in my pajamas, sleeping. I said, "Negro, if you don't get the..."
That's the great thing about you guys. You always commit to the bit.
Yeah, he had to open my pajamas, put them on in my bed, sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So we had some fun days back then. It was so much fun. Everything we ever did together was
and then some of those places, George, just remember how hot it was sometimes, and just it was hotter than what, and it was colder than what. Going to Chicago like in January and February, and
Chicago.
Yeah.
That's when I wrote the joke. Baskin Robbins was selling soup. Chicago, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It may be cold in Chicago, but do you know the people will still? Some of my biggest shows have been in the winter.
Yeah, Thomas said the same thing, that the greatest attendance he had was, people who were just sick of having cabin fever and being stuck in the house. And
but the ladies are most beautiful. They put on the mink coats and come out in Chicago. It would be so beautiful to see that audience. And as cold as it was, we still laughed and had a great time. So thank you, Chicago.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, George, we have not talked about so much about what's going on in the world. But I did want to find out, first of all, have you voted?
I didn't vote because I got caught up. I said something on TV, remember about the driver's license. And I said, I'm moving here just to do it. And somebody said, they're checking you out already, And I was telling people before I knew the law that I was going to do it. And said, you can't do that. You got to turn in your driver's license. You got to do the whole thing.
Right.
So, but I'm out there pushing for it now. I gave money.
So is it too late to do it, to get your driver's license changed?
Oh, no, you could have done it on the spot. But had I gone back to Vegas, when I go back to Vegas, they'd accuse me of what breaking the law is a felony to do. So,
okay.
But I'm helping everybody else. Like I say, I will piggyback. Anybody with less than 185 pounds, you can get on my back and I will haul your ass down to the...
Really? 185?
Less than 185 pounds.
Okay, all right, okay. George, do you think you're going to get any of that stimulus money since you ain't making no money?
Well, listen to me. That's what I don't like about the candidates running for Georgia, the two senators running for Georgia. They one is a half billionaire. Is it 500 billion or 500 million she has?
She's a half billionaire.
Half billionaire. And then you got the other guy, Purdue. These guys are millionaires in inside trading, and they don't want you to have $600. What's up with that? That is just wrong and backwards. And then you watch the commercials in Atlanta, man. They're just lying their asses off. Ass off. Oh, that's good. Wrote that in. Ass off. So it's just the stimulus. I hope we can get some money before they go home. These people need money.
They really have to. I don't know whether you can believe him or not, whether you're one of those who trust Mitch McConnell, but he says we are not leaving. He's referring to...
That's what he said. I can't trust him. I don't like him. I don't like him. As soon as he can leave, it'd be fantastic for me.
So they started this week as a group of 4 Republicans and 4 Democrats meeting together and coming up with their own plan. And so they have worked some things out, and it looks like I think they're going to try to get it done tonight or tomorrow, because tomorrow night at midnight is when the government shuts down, if they don't get enough money to keep it going.
Now,
and
if the government shuts down, don't you think their salary should be cut off?
I think that it should, and that should be the incentive. But as it is now, even with the partial government shutdown, the members of Congress will still get paid.
That should stop.
Yeah. But who's going to be the congressperson to start that bill? And
me, when I go to DC, that's why I should be there.
Okay.
If they don't get any money, we don't get any money. That's the way it should be.
Right. So they are looking to make the stimulus checks about half of what they were. They say $600 or $700 compared to the $1,200 per individual, as well as, and we just lost George again, but also one of those things is the extension of the unemployment benefits is also supposed to be a part of the package, and it would provide large funding for small businesses and vaccine distribution, education, transportation, and of course, healthcare. So keep our fingers crossed that they come up with something, because here we are. Tomorrow night, the government could shut down. It could be a partial government shutdown. A week from tomorrow is Christmas. And right after Christmas, the moratorium on the evictions is supposed to end, as well as people paying their student loans back. That is going to come to an end at the end of the month. And so all of these things are happening, and something, whatever it is, and I believe Joe Biden when he says this is just a placekeeper. We're going to do something for people immediately, but this is not the end. And I don't think it's going to be like it was with this particular Congress, in which the United States House of Representatives had, how many different bills did they come up with that the Senate just kept piling up on Mitch McConnell's desk? They've been doing this since after the first stimulus package. So can you hear us, George? No? Okay. Good. I'm sorry, George. God bless you, George Wallace. I love you so much. That's some bull twit that he's talking right there. All right, so once again, Donald Trump's tax documents are now. Bullshit. I hope that's not a characterization of this story. But a judge this week ruled that the Trump Organization is required to turn over documents related to a property whose tax abatements were being investigated by my girl, they're all, New York Attorney General Letitia James. And so they argued the documents were protected by attorney-client privilege, but her office has said the documents were not protected. So we will see what happens with that. Now, last week, the New York Attorney General declared in an interview that he could not avoid justice in the great state of New York. And so come January 20th or January 19th, maybe January 21st, I'm not sure. Because here's the other part. They don't want him at Mar-a-Lago either. So he's got to go somewhere, and maybe just to pick up a couple of things, but you best be sure that Letitia James is going to be there. I don't know what the inauguration is going to look like, if people are going to come and who's going to attend, because that's all been pared down because of the pandemic, but it'll be interesting. Can you see this big 6-foot-tall Black woman with the deputies and saying, to the former president of the United States, watch your head. So we'll see. Coronavirus update. Did we mention about the FDA panel has approved a second virus vaccine tonight. And so the word is that the FDA is expected, if you're just joining us, the FDA is expected to give that a pass into existence. So that'll be the second vaccine that will be working and to help the people. And that's Moderna's. And I think that's the vaccine that the sister, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, was working on with Moderna. So hopefully that will be ready to roll any day now that the FDA is expected to give their final word on that. George?
It seems I'm back. Sybil, thank you so much. Sybil?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to check out early.
Okay.
I don't know whether I had a death in the family, so people are going crazy here right now.
Okay, I'm sorry about your loss, George. I'm very, very sorry, but know that you're in our thoughts and prayers.
I'll keep in touch with Sybil. Sybil, okay. Thank you so much. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And don't forget bull twit at George Wallace. Get a gift at georgewallace.net, georgewallace.com. It's my little online ramblings in my head. And we'll talk more about the book. Get 5 or 6 for your Christmas gifts under your tree.
And
Sybil, I'm sorry, but I got to run.
That's okay.
Thank you so much, okay?
Love you, George. Take care.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. So we were talking about coronavirus, and this particular vaccine that may be approved by the FDA tonight or tomorrow is the one that the Black immunologist, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, worked on, and who was called and lauded by Dr. Anthony Fauci. So good for her. And we hope that we will see that coming out and on the road to helping more people. This case is a part of our social justice component of the What You Need to Know newsletter. And this is a case that you may remember hearing about during the 2020 presidential primaries, in which there was a case of a young man who had been accused of shooting an 11-year-old girl. She was killed by a stray bullet in 2002 while doing her homework at home. This is in Minnesota. And the man that they charged was a young boy at the time. His name is Myron Burrell. And this week he has been freed due to new evidence proving his innocence in the shooting death of 11-year-old Taisha Edwards. As I said, she was killed in 2002 as she sat in her family's home doing her homework. He has always maintained his innocence, and a number of questions surrounding his conviction, of which the former attorney for the state, for a county in Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar, was involved in this case. Now, she may not have had direct contact with this case, but she was, I was going to say she was the overseer, but she worked over the people who convicted this young man. And despite his having said that he was innocent, I know everybody says it, but they were just talking about the wrongful conviction and imprisonment of this young man. And so he is now a free man. And this sparked national outrage, as I said, as this was presented to the Minnesota's Board of Pardons and Amy Klobuchar, who headed the county attorney's office at the time. And she used his conviction as a part of her Get Tough on Crime policy. And how difficult is it to get tough on the crime of an innocent man, an innocent Black man at that. And just as this story started coming out, that's when Amy Klobuchar was backing out and subsequently pulled out of the primary election. Any Steph Curry fans in the house? Hello. Yes. He is working with Under Armour, and they're on a mission to compete with Nike's Jordan brand. The Steph brand, Curry brand, is Under Armour is going to compete with Michael Jordan. He took an equity stake in the latest deal extension, make the brand a sports and cultural staple. Now, mind you, the Jordan brand with Nike does over $3 billion in annual sales. And that's compared to Under Armour's total revenue, not just the brand, their total revenue for all of it is $4.5 billion. So good luck to you, Steph Curry. And just some things for you to look at in terms of to look out for tomorrow on the What You Need to Know newsletter, talking about the young woman, Anjanette Young, who was the Chicago woman. If you have not seen the video, the Chicago woman in February of 2019, her house was broken into by police there to serve a warrant. She was not the one. And surprise, and she was humiliated and harassed by the police, mainly being naked and handcuffed, as they had the video that we all saw with the blurred images of her standing there crying and screaming, trying to tell them that this was not the apartment, that they were wrong. They had wrongfully entered her apartment. They were looking for somebody else. They were misinformed by an informant. They didn't do their due diligence with getting the search warrants and making sure all that was working out, and as well as Chicago police who were on the scene and the way they humiliated this woman, including the law department of the city of Chicago, who for months she was trying to get this video because she was going to bring a case, and they refused to get the video. And not until CBS2 Chicago worked on this as well as other cases, and the video was finally released, and we got to see it like Monday night, Tuesday morning. So this is Anjanette, and so look for her story tomorrow in the What You Need to Know newsletter, also giving you updates on coronavirus. And you know what, Ross? Is this Ross or Roz? Asking why don't you have some of the viewers on sometime? Well, okay. I don't want to say, I hate when people say duly noted, but we'll take that under advisement. We'll take that suggestion and see what we can do. Okay. And we would love to have you. Absolutely. What you doing right now? We're coming to the end of this year, and I'm not sure how many days our executive producer / slave driver is going to have us broadcast over the holiday. So, but definitely we'll work on that for next year and make that happen. Okay. I also wanted to mention that our little known Black History fact in today's What You Need to Know newsletter is Max Robinson. I adored Max Robinson. And as a little girl, and this was a big deal, you guys. And those of you of a certain age will know this and recognize that Max Robinson was the first Black man to anchor a national news program. Now, he didn't do it alone. ABC had 3 people. They couldn't just give it to Max. They gave it to an old white man, Frank Reynolds. They gave it to a white woman, Barbara Walters, and they gave and they had like a round robin there with Max Robinson. And oh God, I love that man. And died much too soon. Complications from AIDS. A sad story. But that is and that's part of what we do every day in the newsletter. So please go to SybilWilkes.com and subscribe. We've been telling people about it's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. So please go, and it makes for a great holiday gift to all your friends and family. Go to SybilWilkes.com. Give us your name and your email address, and we'll have it in your email box first thing every morning, Monday through Friday. And also stay tuned and subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook channels, please. We ask you to do that, as well as all on social media. It's Sybil Wilkes. And we are, Ross says he's not presentable right now. Ross suggested that we have our viewers, our the readers of the newsletter and the viewers of this come on. And so Ross, I suggested, what are you doing right now? And he says, he's not presentable right now. Well, there's a reason why I'm wearing my Obama hat today. Not only because, but got some things happening here. And I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to go back and get my hair done as I quarantine. All right. So you guys, thank you so much. And once again, thank you to the wonderful people from Black Voters Matter. And go to blackvotersmatterfund.org for more information and check out our video right now. See y'all next week. Have a great week.
Some love sent their way. Who needs love? Who needs love? Who needs a little love today? Who needs some love sent their way?